What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back with a new episode of Under the Radar, and this week, talking about two albums that came out on June 14th that I didn't give a full review to, that I'm going to talk about now, and we're kicking things off with Embryonic Autopsy with Origins of the Deformed. Comes out on Massacre Records, and this is the second album from this Chicago-based death metal band that actually features Tim King, the frontman of the legendary death metal band from Chicago, Oppressor, and bassist for the alternative metal band, or new metal band, Soil. So this is his project, and yeah, it's very much old-school death metal, bordering on brutal death metal a lot of times. Like, I definitely got lots of nods to Chicago Legends' Broken Hope on here, and yeah, this album, it's just brutal, blasty, some eerie melodies even come in, and then there's even some occasional Morbid Angel low-end tremolo riffs that kind of get peppered in on this album. Tim's vocals, absolutely guttural as fuck on here, and I know a lot of fans, or a lot of people that aren't into like the super putrid guttural vocals probably aren't going to appreciate it. I don't mind them. I think it's impressive when somebody can do it, and I loved them. There's some occasional double time rhythms going on this album. It does chug pretty well, and there's a few guest musicians. James Murphy doing a few songs in terms of solos, Jack Owen on a track, and harmonies between James Murphy and Terrence Hobbs from Suffocation. Now, the production itself, it's raw, but I was not a big fan of the drum sound. I thought the drums sounded way too drum machine-esque, like the snare itself, like it kind of sounded like a drum machine snare. And I know it's not a drum machine, but it just sounds like it. And also on top of that, with just the nature of this album, you're going to run into some songs that will kind of have some similarities in terms of the blasts and the tremolos, but whenever the leads come in, they are melodic. There are some eerie melodies going on to kind of add some spice to this album. But overall, I think it's a decent album. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. If you're a fan of Broken Hope, Morbid Angel, Prostitute Disfigurement, and Suffocation, you'll find some stuff you like on here. For me, 3 out of 5. And then the second album is Darkened with Defilers of the Light on Edge Circle Productions. And I actually talked about their last album in an Under the Radar episode a couple of years ago. And yeah, this is a Swedish-Canadian death metal supergroup of sorts, as it features current and former members in the entire history of the band, of members of Benediction, Niflheim, Hellbutcher, Destroyer 666, Nasum, Necrophobic, Dismembered, Grave, Carbonized, Entombed AD, Funebrarum, Disma, Azsuck, Memoriam, and Bolt Thrower. Yeah, it's a laundry list of bands in terms of the members that have come and gone in here. But yeah, as far as what you get musically, very much old school death metal, but there's also some slight dark melodic death metal moments that kind of get peppered in on here with how these melodies get. But it does get into old school death metal territory, some awesome chugs, blast beats of nastiness, and it gets very thrashy to the level of a band like Vader. But when it gets doomy, it's kind of like Asphyx, or when Bolt Thrower's at their doomiest. And, of course, Double Time, just like Bolt Thrower. The vocals, I gotta admit, are very close to, like, early Martin Van Drunen. Some triplet chugs and some clean melodies that get peppered in on this album. Great shredding guitar work, but of course, like I said, there's some occasional dark melodeath moments on this album, to the point where you could call this album melodic death metal and you really wouldn't be wrong. As far as any complaints, apart from perhaps some of the songs kind of sounding similar at times, other than that, I thought this was a pretty good offer, and I would say maybe a little bit better than their last album. I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. I think this is pretty good. If you're a fan of Bolt Thrower, Asphyx, Hail of Bullets, and Vader, check this out. But of course, those are all just my opinions, and of course the albums themselves will be in the description box. But what was your favorite out of the two? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you for watching. Keep your horns high and your dreams wet.
Thank you for your patronage.